Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. Today we're going to be discussing the intersection of muggle and magical, taking a look at some magical aspects of the wizarding world that also happen to exist in our own world. From people to magical objects, join me as we unravel the magic that has existed around us all along. Mandrakes. Remember those human-like roots in the Chamber of Secrets that looked eerily like human babies? Well, they're real plants. Mandrakes, genus Mandragora, come from a genus of 6 species of hallucinogenic plants in the nightshade family, native to the Mediterranean region and the Himalayas. Mandrakes have a long history in folklore and traditional medicine, with their roots used as an anesthetic, aphrodisiac, and hallucinogen. They aren't deadly like their magical counterparts, but their effects can be dangerous if misused. While the Harry Potter filmmakers took some liberties with their physical appearance, they aren't too far off. Nicola Fel. Remember the creator of the Philosopher's Stone, Nicola Fel? Well, he was a real person. Admittedly, the Harry Potter story took a few liberties with his identity, but they weren't completely inaccurate. A real-life medieval scholar, philanthropist, alchemist, scribe and manuscript seller, Fel inhabited Paris during the 14th century. Fel later became known for his work in alchemy, with legends brewing around his supposed discovery of the legendary Philosopher's Stone. Alchemy. In Harry Potter lore, alchemy is an advanced and sort of composite subject taught at Hogwarts, which mixes transfiguration, potions and muggle chemistry. This class teaches students about the disciplines of an ancient magic, the study of the 4 basic elements, fire, earth, water, air, and how to manipulate them for the purpose of transmuting substances. Students also learn about the history of alchemy, its influence on magical knowledge, and the techniques required to perform successful transmutations. What you may not have known, however, is that alchemy is far from being just a made-up magical discipline. In truth, alchemy was actually the medieval forerunner to modern chemistry. The practice of alchemy dates back to Hellenistic Egypt and was later adopted by Islamic scholars and European philosophers. Even Isaac Newton dabbled in alchemy, writing extensively on the subject. Bizor. Remember when Harry saved Ron with a Bizor in The Half-Blood Prince? Well, they're real. Bizors are real stones taken from the stomachs of goats or other animals. In traditional medicine, Bizors were believed to be a cure for poisons and illnesses. The word Bizor comes from the Persian word padzar, which means antidote. While not as universally effective as their magical counterparts, Bizors have been used in various cultures for centuries. Asphodel, wormwood, and wolfsbane. Right near the beginning of the Philosopher's Stone, these 3 ingredients are mentioned by potions professor Severus Snape. Mr. Potter, our new celebrity. Tell me, what would I get if I added powdered root of asphodel to an infusion of wormwood? You don't know? Well, let's try again. Where, Mr. Potter, would you look if I asked you to find me a Bizor? And what is the difference between monkshood and wolfsbane? Pity. Clearly fame isn't everything, is it, Mr. Potter? Incidentally, asphodel, wormwood, and wolfsbane are actually real things. Asphodel is a tall white flowering plant native to the Mediterranean region. It has a long history in mythology and was associated with the afterlife in ancient Greek beliefs. Wormwood, Artemisia absinthium, is a pleasant-looking herb with a bitter taste. It is used in liquors like vermouth and absinthe, and has been associated with various medicinal and magical properties throughout history. Wolfsbane is a genus of highly toxic plants native to the Northern Hemisphere. Ingesting even a small amount of wolfsbane can be lethal, and its toxins have been used in traditional medicines, hunting, and warfare. You may remember wolfsbane being used in a potion to ease Professor Lupin's werewolf symptoms in The Prisoner of Azkaban. Serum. Serum, also known as Truth Serum, forces the drinker to reveal their secrets. While there isn't an exact truth serum like we see in Harry Potter, there actually are some drugs, including barbiturates, that have been used as truth serums. These drugs, which are typically used for things like anesthesia, lower inhibitions and make it harder for people to lie under their influence. The use of truth serums has been controversial, with concerns about their effectiveness and ethical implications. However, the idea of a potion that forces someone to tell the truth is a long-standing concept in fiction and mythology. Invisibility Cloak. Invisibility cloaks in the Harry Potter universe are magical cloaks made from special materials that have the ability to make the wearer invisible. The most famous of these is the Deathly Hallows Invisibility Cloak, which is one of the 3 most powerful magical objects in the wizarding world. It is said to make the wearer completely invisible and is resistant to spells and charms. While we may not have a magical cloak yet, scientists are actively working on ways to make objects invisible using electromagnetic waves and manipulating light. Researchers have developed materials called metamaterials that can bend light around an object, making it appear invisible. These materials are still in the early stages of development, but they hold promise for future applications in stealth technology and optical devices. Come to think of it, the technologies being worked on actually more closely resemble the disillusionment charm, a spell that can be cast on a person or an object to make it blend into its surroundings and become less visible. The charm gives the illusion that the person or object is transparent or camouflaged, making it difficult to see. Devil's Snare. You may remember Devil's Snare as one of the obstacles that the trio encountered on the way to the Philosopher's Stone. In Harry Potter, Devil's Snare is a magical plant with the ability to constrict or strangle anything in its surrounding environment. Luckily for the trio, the dangerous magical plant does have a weakness: light. It's also especially sensitive to heat. As it turns out, there is a real-life version of this plant called Jimson weed, or Datura stramonium. It's a poisonous nightshade plant native to the Americas, with large trumpet-shaped flowers that open at night, just like its magical counterpart. The plant contains powerful hallucinogenic compounds that have been used in traditional medicine and spiritual practices. However, its effects can be dangerous and even deadly if misused. Runes. Hermione's study of ancient runes at Hogwarts wasn't just for show. Runes were a real type of ancient alphabet used by the Germanic peoples of Northern Europe and Scandinavia. The earliest runic inscriptions date back to the 2nd century AD. Runes were used for various purposes, including writing messages, casting spells, and making predictions. Today, runes are popular in divination practices and modern adaptations of ancient pagan religions. King's Cross Station and Platform 9 3/4. King's Cross Station, the place that witches and wizards congregate in order to access Platform 9 3/4, is indeed a real train station, as is Platform 9 3/4. King's Cross Station, built in 1852, is one of the busiest railway stations in the UK. In the Harry Potter series, students board the Hogwarts Express by running through a brick wall between platforms 9 and 10. Today, fans can visit a Platform 9 3/4 installation at the station, complete with a luggage cart sticking partway into the wall. The Hand of Glory. In the series, we come across a Hand of Glory for the first time in the Chamber of Secrets at Borgin and Burke's, a shop that has a bit of a dodgy reputation for selling dark wizarding artifacts and dealing with questionable witches and wizards. What's interesting about this magical item, however, is that it actually exists. According to legend, a Hand of Glory was said to be able to open locked doors, render anyone in its path motionless or unconscious, and provide light to only those who wield it, even in total darkness, making it the perfect dark arts object for a thief. If using a Hand of Glory where the fingers provided the light, an unlit taper would also tell you if someone in your path was awake. It's hard to put an exact date on when the myths and legends of the Hand of Glory first appeared. What we do know, however, is that the term Hand of Glory derives from the French phrase main de gloire, which directly translated means, you guessed it, Hand of Glory. Interestingly enough, the name is said to be a corruption of mandragora or mandrake, as its roots look eerily like a shriveled hand. We also know that real-life criminals and those suspected of witchcraft in the 16th and 17th centuries were accused of creating Hands of Glory to perform criminal acts. And that's it for this video. Can you name other magical things from Harry Potter that actually exist? Please leave a comment down below. Until next time, remember, it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live.